Control Center in New York. This is Walter Cronkite reporting.
You walk into that studio.
How's it going? What's up?
You were walking into his office, and he was the managing editor. And he was the managing editor.
I think it's too far down.
Oh, hi folks. SoCooL Bob. I'm going to get ready to do some editing of a piece that I just did at the Murphy-Goode winery there in Healdsburg. You can see I'm in my studio, and this is modern TV, as they say. I almost forgot I wanted to say hello and took my clothes off, because I normally do. I'm in my office here, my penthouse above a garage in Santa Rosa. And here is a story about Murphy-Goode.
The only hot war we've got running at the moment is, of course, the one in Vietnam.
I don't think that unless a greater effort is made by the government to win popular support, that the war can be won out there.
But we were having a discussion, and I've got that Murphy-Goode in the background, so that's good. We were having a discussion about television, what it used to be like and things, and you thought that anybody, what were you thinking?
Anybody in the media, including people as much on the periphery as you are, should read the book Moyers, M-O-Y-E-R-S, on America.
Is that Bill Moyers?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you recommending that particular book?
Because our country is going to hell in a handbasket, and it's the media that has the opportunity to stop it.
Can you give me the short version of how they're going to do that?
We have to stop the dollar being more important than the vote.
Exposing that the way greed operates and takes priority over statesmanship.
I think for any time there is a vote, the amount of money that goes into buying a candidate is more important than the number of votes that that candidate gets. If he were getting them because of a public fund of dollars rather than a private fund of dollars, it would be better for everyone.
And then, as I recall, the argument against is that it would deprive those people with money of their freedom. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Freedom to control.
Because there's always two sides. There's actually more than multi-sides. But well, we weren't going to do politics. We were doing Murphy-Goode. But I appreciate that. By the way, these people here, this gentleman here, and this young lady here, are getting married.
Just been married.
Just been. How many?
7 months.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, but
Come on.
we're 80 years old.
Is it a shorter period of time when you're 80 years old? I didn't know.
It's about 2 more.
There's posted on the website, there was a really detailed job description that, talked about the different Web 2.0 social networking skills, as well as what some of these other things that they're going to be doing, because they are going to be, whoever gets the job, not just, doing online social networking, talking about Murphy-Goode, talking about, the wine country experience and bringing people here, but they're actually going to be working out in the vineyards, they're going to be in the winery, and so there's going to be all these other skills that are going to be, that they will learn, and of course learning more about wine, more about food, and so, this whole process.
You were telling me you understand why the wine industry is apparently hooked on this social marketing thing?
Well, the part of this Russian River Wine Road, or now Wine Road organization that we're part of, the big topic of conversation are millennials. As an example, a barrel tasting that we just had, there was probably more 21 to 25-year-olds in the history of barrel tasting, 25-year history of barrel tasting. So the millennials are coming out and they're drinking wine, they're consuming wine much earlier than our generations did, and they're spending money. The older generation would drink big jug wines, mass quantities. The younger generation are drinking fine wines, and they're becoming a lot more wine knowledgeable. And so we're seeing this whole new generation is doing that. So that's why this whole idea of Web 2.0, all the different, from Twitter and blogging to, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the different ways that these guys yell, which is why wine is coming up and now equaling and soon, if it hasn't yet, surpassed beer as a beverage of choice.
We have a couple of people here, one of them's from Sonoma and things, and I got to push some buttons and stuff like that. And they're here to provide testimonial of the value of social marketing. Why do you happen to be here today?
We just love Healdsburg. We were listening to music at the Palette and wanted to talk to the people here and find out a little bit more about social networking, social marketing.
That's not what he said to me before I put the camera on. You remember what he said to me before I put the camera on?
No, I don't.
I asked him, what are you doing here? And he said,
we're a couple of deadbeats that just wandered in off the street.
See, everybody wants to be a TV star. He changed the dialogue again on me, and I was trying to get him to repeat. I call it a rehearsal when you do this without the camera on.
I see.
So I was trying to get him to repeat, because when I asked him before, what are you doing here?
We just wandered off the street.
Why are
social marketing thing.
Why are you here?
Todd and Hardy told me to come out. I found them on Twitter a long time ago and been friends with them ever since. And they told me to come here, and so I'm not going to pass up free wine.
I love it when people take pictures. Pictures are it.
I have to take pictures. I send them out right now.
Is that video?
No.
It will be in 2 years, you know.
Well, it'll be on Facebook though.
I have a blog and a bunch of my readers voted, commented, so.
Well, I remember because you're more attractive than, for example,
This guy.
this guy, you know what I mean?
No.
You also had position in the videos for some period.
Well, I think I am forever known as the girl
I
that wore the chef
recognize you
uniform.
also, but your claim to fame is...
that I work for the governor of Texas.
That's what I thought.
I gotta take this call. This is somebody coming to drink some wine and let me pour for them, and I need to give them directions to. Hello?
So I was the girl in the chef uniform. I'm forever going to be known as that. But turned
There
out
you are
well.
right there, isn't that you?
Yes, there I am. There I am.
I'm setting up a live video stream to stream it out to all of my friends who can't be here. And so I've got about a few hundred people that can't come here because they're in Texas. Some of them are in Louisiana and New York, and so I figured I'd bring it to them. And so we're going to hook up a little live cast, and we'll be taking this tasting room right here and taking it to the internet. And so I'm going to set that up real quick before I start pouring.
You're going to do a live cast?
Yeah.
And the information on how to do a live cast is going to be available where?
You could actually go to my website that I just built for this. It's areallygoodtrip.com, and that's areallygoodtrip.com. My name's Adam Bowe. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'd love to see you there, or I'd love to see you here.
As I understand it, if you don't get this job, you still got a really good job, don't you?
I do. I love Austin, Texas, and it would take a great job like this for me to leave it, but I do. I manage the website and the multimedia for the governor of Texas. He's a laid-back guy, and it's a lot of fun to work there. Austin's a great town, good live music, good outdoors, good food, and just a really good laid-back culture, similar here to Healdsburg. So I like to be here, and Austin's great to go back to as well. Thanks a lot.
There are thousands of voices delivering the news today. But there once was a time, not long ago, when one voice mattered most.
Good evening from the CBS News Control Center in New York. This is Walter Cronkite reporting.
And it gave such a global village feel to things. No one moved. America gathered. This was the gateway to the American evening.
He understood how to translate things to the television medium and make them work.
To ensure man's survival in the hostile environment of outer space.
For me, he's such an icon.
Wait a minute, you're Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it is. Hold on, Walter, can you just a moment?
Meeting him was the best thing.
Name's Rob.
And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. We'll be right back.